Dan, I think one of the things that makes trouble for people when they make a relationship is an expectation that all relationships start the same way.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And they don't.
No.
For example, the age people are when they first come together will send a trajectory that's different. So I want just to talk about that a little bit, because when people come together in high school or in college and haven't had a lot of relationships prior to that, or they may have gone out a few times, or in the way that teenagers sometimes go out and that they're talking to each other but they don't really go out.
Yes, right.
Seriously, there are people who find their lifetime mate when they're 17 years old or 18 years old. And those two people are really co-creating each other. They're not a whole person yet because they haven't got adult experience.
Yeah, the brains aren't formed yet. They're forming one another, right?
So they are very definitely and truthfully trying to, creating each other's self.
Yeah.
Because they're coming together so young. Now, I want to be on record as saying young relationships can work and do work.
Well, you've got proof.
I've got proof. I've been with my husband since we were 17. But
that's great.
It can work, folks, okay. But there is also a very distinct difference when people have lived a single life for their 20s.
Right.
People are getting married later and later now. And so when people come together at 28, 32, 35, now we have two people with a past, with experience, with some clear ideas about what they do and don't want in a relationship. And instead of co-creating each other, they are coming together as two complete people.
You know, the image that comes to mind is that when you're young, you're really building a house together.
That's right.
But when there's more life experience, you're really sort of adding on to what is already there. There's an existing home. Each person has an existing home, and you're learning how to explore and add on to that.
Right. And it's a very good metaphor, because when you think about it, you do want to explore the rooms that each other has.
Absolutely.
And hopefully you kind of like the way they're decorated.
That's right.
Okay? But you also want to make a piece that's your own. So to accept that and to embrace it and find it fascinating and interesting, rather than, you should forget about your prior life because now you're with me. Well, you can't forget about your prior life, and neither can I, and we shouldn't. Because there are things that are going to enrich our relationship there. There are standards we set when we were making our own home, and there are things we absolutely don't want. So that all becomes part of what we're going to be talking about and experiencing together as we now co-create an addition. An addition.
I think that that's important for new couples who really do have more life experience, that they're able to go out and have new experiences together that are completely different than what they've had in the past.
Right.